and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we are looking at the rectangular postage stamp punch. So versatile, and it does this lovely little postage stamp outside. Perfect little rectangular shape, works lovely on cards. And the Posted For You, which is the stamp set, comes as a bundle. So you can get both of them together and you get a 10% discount. And I know I'm going to use this again and again. I've done a few things with this. And today I thought I would do something really simple. So we're looking at some beautiful paper and we're going to make a card like this. Now if I just bring it up just a little bit to get it in focus for you, you can see it's very simple, very clean. But my goodness, it makes such a beautiful card. Perfect for the ladies in our life as well as the men in our life, because it works, because it's just green and lovely. Now, we're just using paper. The paper we're using is from the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper. Now, this is 12 by 12. I've cut some pieces down just so it makes it easier for us to see it all. It's the most gorgeous shades of green. You have double-sided as always. So we've got this on this side, which is the lovely, just beautiful flower greenery. I don't know what they're called, but just lovely in different shades of green. Other side, you've got a really sort of jazzy stripe. Then we've got this one, which is beautiful and subtle, very sort of bamboo-like. I know it's not bamboo, but looks very bamboo-like. And then on the other side, beautiful for backgrounds, tones in lovely. Then we've got this one, and the other side is that. So again, beautiful colours. And then this one, lovely ferns, absolutely love this one. And again, a nice sort of neutrally background with sort of spotty bits and things like that on it. And then we've got this one, which is almost sort of like a type of succulent sort of. Yes, I'm no expert, but beautiful on there. Now, the first one I did, I used and took the punch and literally it's working out where you think it will look beautiful. So if you look at this, you capture the whole of this lovely sort of green, succulenty type greenery. And then this one, you've got just the little bit of the one at the sort of middle. And again, on the other side, you can catch that one. So when you put them together, you end up with this plain, simple, but just classical. I think it's beautiful. So I thought we would work with one of the other pieces of Designer Series paper. And I think we're going to work with this one because this has got all the lovely sort of foliage. And these really, I don't know quite what they are, but they're beautiful anyway, whatever they are. So the first thing we're going to do is to very simply take our punch, and I think I want to have this little sort of sprig, sort of sprucey sort of sprig, as the centre focal point for these. So the first one I'm going to put through so that comes in the centre. And then we're just going to punch that out. Then the second one I'm moving along, and there's two. You can see there's two in there. So I'm going to line that up so that the two of those come in. Again, we're not wasting a lot of paper, but we're just making the most of the image as we go through. And this one, again, has got another two in there. So I think I'm going to have that one in on there. Can come down a little bit, I think. Okay, and we'll take that one out. So we've got 3 punched pieces, And so we've got a 2, we've got a 2, and we've got a 1. So I can have the 1 in the middle, I think, probably, and the 2 either side. And I'm going to sort of rearrange them so that they work. Yes, I think that's going to work perfectly. Okay, so the pieces that we need a standard card base, which is, let me just have a look because I put all of these pieces out. Here we go. Okay, so standard card base, wherever you are, it's a sheet of your cardstock. We use A4, cut in half, scored in half, and you have your card base. We're going to do it landscape this time. Then we need a mat, and my mat is in garden green, which is 5.5 by 3 3/4 inches, which just gives the border that I want. And then we've got a white piece to go in over the top, which gives us a 1/4 inch border. And this measures for me 5 1/4 inches by 3 1/2 inches. Now I'm putting these on with some little mats. So I have cut 3 pieces which measure, let me get these out. So 3 pieces which measure 1/8 inch wider than my little postage stamp, which is 1 1/2 inches by 2 1/8 inch. Okay, and I am going to glue these in onto these pieces here. So I'm going to use wet glue for this. I have been struggling with the Stamp and Seal, but my favourite glue, as you know, is wet glue. So we're going to do it with that. So we're just going to run just a little bit of glue along here, and then we can put this on. Now I'm going to put it onto, let me put it onto a silicone mat, because white on white is difficult for me to see. So it then allows me, and I'm doing it at an angle purely because it's for the camera, so I'm just going to put this straight in. Now you can sponge around the edge if you want to, but I want this to be just very clean and simple, and I don't want the sponging round on there. As I say, you can if you want to, but some of our papers are just so beautiful exactly the way they are, and I think this one with the greenery is just perfect. It really is. There is a coordinating stamp. There's a complete suite that you can get. But if you're starting out or you're on a bit of a budget, the paper stands alone just beautifully, and you can make some really very classical clean and simple cards, which sometimes are the most effective, or I think they are. Okay, so we're going to have these in on there, and I've taken a sentiment from the stamp set, which is Posted for You, and it's a Sending Love Your Way. I just love that because that works for absolutely everything. This piece measures 3 1/2 inches by 1/2 inch, and that fits perfectly. And again, on this one, I think we're going to put some of this up with dimensionals. So let me just get, have I got any dimensionals? Yes, I have still got some dimensionals out here from last time. Let me just grab myself out some, because I'm going to need, I think, standards. Just get rid of all my little bits. Okay, so we can start putting this together. So we've got our base, which we can just glue down, but you can make a whole batch of these. We do sell quite a few kits, and I've never actually been a kit person because I find that you can make your own relatively easily. And as I say, this punch is just so beautiful. I've only had it a few weeks, and as you know, I've done several different projects with it, and it is just lovely. I'm really enjoying using it, whether it's a classical clean and simple card like this, or whether it's more intricate. And like everything, you can add ribbon, you can add all sorts of other things onto it. So I need what have I done with it? The sentiment. So I just need to make sure of my positioning. So the sentiment is going to go down here like that. So we now just need to work out where we're going to put these. So there's a 2 there, which I think looks quite nice. And there's a 2 there. I want the 1 in the centre. So I think I'm going to have it this way. Like that, because that's almost as it would have gone. Okay, so we're going to put these up with dimensionals. So let's put some dimensionals on the back of this. The first one I didn't do with dimensionals, and again, it's very much depending whether you are somebody who needs to post something or not. Putting rather a lot of dimensionals on with this, but you can use as many as you want. I was going to put just a few, but it's the sort of thing that you really need to, I want it to be nice and flat. Sometimes if you put too few dimensionals on there, you get a little bit of a wobble from one side to the other because it doesn't sit absolutely flat. So, and this one, are we going to put standards or are we going to put minis? I think we'll put the minis in on this one. Let me just grab some minis out. It's one of the nice things about having both. I've still got a bits and pieces everywhere. Having 2 different sizes of dimensionals, it does work really well. So 1 there. Probably have about 4 in on here. So we haven't got wobbly bits at the edges like that. Okay. So I'm going to put, which way did we say we were going to have these? 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so we'll take this one, and a little tip for you, I always do it one side and then the other side, and then you can balance the centre up. If you start at one side and work across, it can be difficult. You can use your grid paper to line it up, and I'm going to put it with, have a reasonable space, so I'm going to put it just there. Like that. I'll take the other one and put that on the other side. And I'm just laying it down without putting it on too much until I've got the third one lined up, because then before you press it down, if you just rest it on, it then allows you to, a bit like the wet glue, you have a little bit of wiggle room before you are finished completely. So I think that's just resting it down, so I can then have a look and see. Just move that out across a tad, that like that. That looks perfect. Then I can press it down, and then we're going to put this one down at the bottom. Now, as I say, you could sponge around the edges, you could add some ribbon on, but I want this to be very clean and very simple, and sometimes just not adding any ink apart from on the sentiment just makes it stand out beautifully. So get this little one off. There we go. And then I'm going to line this up with this edge and get my space in between the top and the bottom perfectly. So I can then just put that down like that. To pick it up that way so I can see that it's straight. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so we now have 2 cards using exactly the same sort of format, 2 different pieces of the, what is it, Forever Greenery Designer Series paper, but you can see that they stand, if I just bring this up a bit so you can see the whole pattern, you can see how it stands beautifully alone. And you've got this one, which again, I think that they are just absolutely lovely. I like this one because you've got that really dark green, which picks up the black of the lettering. I love this one because I love the way the succulents have come sort of centrally in each one. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Do look forward to seeing you again. As always, stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye-bye.